ruined you. Maybe you're like, ugh, that's way too hard. There's no way I can talk to 2,000 people. Let me tell you a simple way you can do it. When I started doing Nu Skin, I came up with a little mnemonic, a little like naming strategy, and I called it the 3 threes, okay? I created this 3 threes back in 1989, and they still work today. Here's what the 3 threes are. Number 1, talk to 3 new people every day. This is the most important one. Talk to 3 new people every day. Can anybody do that if you want to? Can you? What if you're part-time?
Yes.
What if you only have 1 hour a day you can put into your Nu Skin business? What if you're working 2 other jobs? Can you still talk to 3 new people a day? You absolutely can. You just have to make it a priority, right? So here's a trick, okay? Put 3 elastic bands on 1 wrist. Put 3 elastic bands on 1 wrist in the morning, every morning. And by the end of the day, you want those 3 elastic bands on the other wrist. And every time you talk to a new person, you put 1 elastic band on the other wrist. Second one, third one. Good. You did it for the day, okay? And the reason you use 3 rubber bands is because your hand will go asleep. It cuts off all the blood in your hand, and your hand will be numb, and you'll remember what you're supposed to do, okay? All right. If you don't want to be that radical, you can put 3 coins in 1 pocket, and you want the 3 coins in the other pocket by the end of the day. You need to make this rubber bands or the coins, you got to do that for 1 month. After 1 month, it'll become a habit, and you'll do it anyway, without the rubber bands and without the coins. Okay? Every habit takes 1 month to form a new habit that you'll do for the rest of your life. Okay? So habits are so important. We'll talk about that in a minute, right? So that's the first of the 3 threes. Let's do the math. If you talk to 3 people a day for a year, every day, how many people will you talk to the first year? Over 1,000 people. So that would only take you 2 years to approach 2,000 new people if you did 3 a day. Okay? Now if you don't do that, you only do 1 a day, it's going to take you more than 6 years. It's just a numbers game, folks. And velocity is important. Why is velocity important? Because the more people you talk to every day, the better you get with your words. In fact, you get so good, your skill set gets so complete that you actually know what people are going to say before they say it. That's how good you get when you're in the zone of recruiting. Okay? You ought to make it a goal to get in the recruiting zone every day. All right. So that's the first one. What's the second one of the 3 threes? Okay? The second one is to do at least 3 three-way calls a day. This is where you're helping your downline, or your upline is helping you recruit your people. It is imperative that you introduce your prospects to your upline. Why? Because that person's personality may not click with your personality as good as it clicks with your upline's personality. Some people just relate to other people better than they relate to you. So it's really helpful if you always use your upline and just call them up and say, hey, you got 30 seconds? I've got Juan on the phone with me right here. I just finished a presentation. I just wanted to introduce you to Juan. Juan, this is my sponsor, our upline. They're here to help you. And then you can go, hey, Juan, congratulations, man. I'm glad you had a presentation. Hope you joined the business. Do you have any questions we can help you with? All of a sudden, Juan is like, wow, this is pretty cool. There's like a team here, you know? If you're not doing that, you're screwing up. That's a big mistake. Make sure you're using your upline every day, all day long, calling them with people, okay? The last of the 3 threes. Sponsor 3 new distributors a month. Sponsor 3 new people a month. If you did that, you would sign up 36 people your first year, right? It would take you 4 to 5 years to sign up 125 to 150 people at that pace. That's exactly the number we talked about this morning, that 5 years to become Blue Diamond, right? Okay, that's why it works that way. It's all numbers. All right, so that's how that works. Now let's talk about the right time for just a second. Okay, how much time do we have? Do we know? I can't even read that. What's it say? 23 minutes, okay. So we got to keep moving here. No, we don't. We got to keep moving. Okay, let's talk about the right time for a second. This is going to give you a lot of comfort when you understand this principle, all right? I want you to think about a clock. Okay, these are traditional clocks. This is not the clock on your mobile phone, okay? Remember, traditional clocks have 2 hands, right? And those 2 hands, when both hands are straight up, it's 12 o'clock. Everybody remember that? This is exactly how human beings are when it comes to recruiting them into Nu Skin. They have to be at 12 o'clock. If the human being is not at 12 o'clock, they're not ready to hear about Nu Skin. And it doesn't matter if they're at 3 o'clock or 6 o'clock or 9 o'clock or 11 o'clock or 11:30. They got to be at 12 o'clock. When both hands are straight up, that person is ready to hear about something new. We call them open. They're open to new things. Their mind is willing to accept new concepts, okay? Something's happened in their life. Maybe they had a run-in with their boss. Maybe they just gotten sick and tired of making no money and having no life. Maybe they're tired of not having any time to themselves. Every person in this world someday ends up at 12 o'clock. The problem is we don't know when that is. We can only find out by asking them if they're interested in something different in their life. All right? So, don't beat yourself up because most people are not at 12 o'clock. That's why most people are not interested right now. When they say they're not interested, that does not mean I'm not interested forever, okay? If somebody tells me, Nathan, sounds good, but I'm just not interested right now, I say to them, that's fine. I understand. I get it. You're not ready yet to hear about this. That's what I say to them, okay? And then I ask them a question. I say, look, would you mind if I called you back in 6 months just to give you an update on how I am doing with my Nu Skin business? Would that be okay? What do you think they say? Most people will say, well, of course, that's fine. Mostly, they just want to get you off the phone, right? So they, oh yeah, okay, of course, yeah, that's fine. You can call me in 6 months. Okay, bye. Imagine their complete shock 6 months later when their phone rings and it's you. And they answer, hello, and you say, hi. You might not remember me, but we spoke on the phone 6 months ago, and I asked your permission if I could check back with you and tell you how I was doing in my Nu Skin business. Do you have just a minute? And you hear the phone hit the floor. Because they're shocked that you would be so professional and so prompt that you would follow through and do exactly what you said you were going to do. I got to tell you, folks, this makes a big impression on people. So if you're really in Nu Skin for the rest of your life, and you're not just here playing with this for a couple of weeks to see if something's going to work, and if it doesn't, you're out of here, then you need to care about every person you've ever talked to. Those 2,000 people, you keep track of them, okay? Unless the person says on the phone, when you ask if you can call them in 6 months, they go, absolutely not. I don't ever want to hear from you again. I will never be interested in this company, okay? Then you take them off your list. You never call them again. But that person who says, yeah, fine, call me in 6 months, okay? You're creating a relationship. You might not think so, and they don't think so, but you are creating a relationship. And that 6-month call, they may still say to you, hey, you know what, you're really professional. I'm really surprised you called me back today, but I'm still not ready for anything like this in my life. And you go, hey, no problem. I get it, man. That's fine. How about I check back with you in 6 more months and see how you're doing? the time they'll go, okay, that's fine. You know, it's almost amusing to them, right? And so they go, okay. And you keep calling them back until someday they say, don't ever call me again. Okay? That's what you do. Because what will happen is, at some point, they may end up at 12 o'clock on the day you call them. And they might finally go, you know what? You're pretty amazing. You've been really consistent. And if I ever was going to do a company like this, I would do it with you. Because you're professional. Okay? You made an impression on those people. All right, so that's just a way of thinking about how you treat people and just giving them the benefit of the doubt. When they say no, it simply means not today. It doesn't mean in 6 months. It doesn't mean in a year or 2 years or 3 years, right? One of my very best leaders in my business, it took me 5 years to recruit them. Talking to them about every 6 months, every 3 months, sometimes once a year, took me 5 years to create the relationship, to build up the trust, where this person finally one day said, okay, let's do it. Let's rock and roll. Okay? Okay, that person. I have now made more than $10 million from that one person. More than $10 million from that one person. That whole organization. Okay? Was it worth it? Was it worth it to follow up? What is item number 5 in the workflow? In System 7, what's item number 5? After the presentation, what do? Follow up. Follow up. Follow up, right? That's why it's there. Because that's what we do. We follow up with people. Now, One Team Global has created a new app that will help you to follow up really good. Every time you contact someone, it will ask you when you want to follow up with them. And you just put the date in the app when you will follow up, and the app will give you a list every morning of everybody you need to follow up with that day. Okay? So, it's not yet in Spanish. It launched yesterday in English, but it will be in Spanish in the next couple of months, okay? So you're going to want that. All right. How did we go from 22 to 5? All right, let's get that one. This is one of my favorite quotes. Now, we're out of time. They're dropping the hammer on me. I've got to stay on schedule. It's not right for me to take time from other speakers. Okay? That's incorrect. So I need to stay within my own time to be respectful of all the other leaders that are here. Okay? Okay. So this is one of my favorite quotes right here. Okay? The greatest loss in life is the difference between human potential versus actual performance. Think about that. What that means is that every one of you in this room has unlimited potential. And the greatest disappointment is that you don't live up to your potential. You are capable of doing 100 times more than you're doing right now in your life. You're capable of being 100 times more successful, having 100 times more happiness in your life. And you just got to open up your mind to make sure that you receive that, okay? The greatest loss in life is the difference between human potential versus actual performance. Okay? So, get busy. There's no time to waste. There's not a minute to waste in this life. Not 1 minute, okay? There's just too many fun things to do. All right. This is how you change. This is the process of change. And I will close with this, with this slide, okay? Everything that is something new in your life starts with a thought. Our thoughts are so powerful. Out of all the forms of life on this planet, only human beings can create the future in their mind. That's the great secret of our day, ladies and gentlemen. We can change our future by changing our thoughts. okay? And we could talk for an hour about how you change your thoughts, okay? Don't ever listen to garbage material. Don't listen to junk music. Don't look at pornography. Don't read garbage magazines, okay? Eliminate the frivolous garbage out of your life, okay? Life is too short to waste any time. So read motivating books. Read autobiographies of people who've accomplished great things in their life. People that went above and beyond the masses of humanity. Okay? People who know how to stretch your mind. Get focused on the good things in life and fill your mind with good thoughts. Okay? It starts with your thoughts. Whatever you think consistently enough, you'll eventually speak in words. Those thoughts will come out of your mouth in words that you say. Okay? You want those to be positive words, right? Okay? When you repeat words over and over again from those thoughts, then those become actions. You actually take action on your words. Okay? So thoughts lead to words, and words lead to action. Actions repeated over and over again become habits, right? You do the same action for a month in a row, it becomes a habit in your life. Listen, this is a pivotal point in how you turn out in your life here, okay? There's bad habits and there's good habits in life. Stay away from the bad habits, okay? The bad habits destroy your freedom. If you're addicted to cigarettes, you're going to be a slave to those cigarettes the rest of your life, and they will kill you. Okay? They waste your time, they waste your money, and they destroy your body. So if you're here today and you smoke, stop it today. Okay? It's not conducive with big-time success in your life. So get rid of it. Okay? Anything that's a bad habit ends up making, they're like your master. And they own you. Okay? So remember, habits are either the worst of masters, or habits can be the best of servants. If you form good habits in your life, those good habits serve you well. Do you think if you formed a habit of talking to 3 new people a day, that would enrich your life? Do you think so? Yeah. Number one, you'll end up being a blue diamond in New Skin. There's no way you cannot be a blue diamond, okay? So number one, that would happen. But just beyond that, just meeting 3 new people every day and learning to love people, would that not enrich your life? Give you a lot of happiness and joy because you're a happy, open person who's willing to speak to other people? Sure it would. That's a good habit that becomes a servant. It serves you well your whole life, okay? Do you think that if you make a habit of exercising every morning, okay? If you make a habit of doing that every day of your life, do you think that would serve you well your whole life? Of course it would, right? So there's lots of good habits we need to form in our lives. And those are things we need to do. Thoughts lead to words. Words lead to actions. Actions form habits, either good or bad. Good habits create a great character. Bad habits create a lesser character. And your character determines your destiny. That's what you will leave behind for your posterity to remember when you're dead and gone, okay? What kind of destiny are you going to live? What kind of character are you going to leave behind for those people that are most important for you in your life? Thank you so much for being here today. It's been my pleasure to speak to you.